and welcome to the Family Tech Talk podcast,
where we offer tech tips,
give parenting advice,
and discuss the latest tech news
that can help you manage the technology in your home.
We are your hosts. I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah. You can learn more about us on our website, familytechzone.com.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode.
Today we are talking about
buying computers!
How to buy a computer.
I'm like so excited because this is one of my favorite things ever to talk about.
Well, and it's one of my most common questions, especially from friends. Everybody's like, hey, I need a new computer. What should I buy?
Yes, all the time.
Yes.
Like people meet me and they're like, hey, it's nice to, I used to work at Best Buy. I need to buy a computer.
So
how do I buy a computer?
Let's chat about this.
All the time.
Yes, definitely. So I don't know what your first step is, but my first step is usually to ask them,
what do you want? What do you use your computer for? What do you want to use it for?
Yes.
Even like, what do you wish your current computer did? Yes. Like that general, that's I've shortened it to tell me the basics of what you want.
Yeah.
Because I just need to know what you're going to do first.
Right. Yeah, because I'm not going to recommend something like top of the line if all they need to do is browse the internet and have their kids play Minecraft.
Like, I'm not going to make you spend $2,000 to do that. If you want to play Skyrim on it, maybe,
a little different story.
But yeah, if it's just a super basic, here's what we want, totally.
Yeah. So along those lines, what kind of specs should they look for?
Yeah. So, I mean, whenever I was like writing and thinking about this, I'm like, this is going to be so long of me trying to talk to it. I mean, you've got hard drive versus solid state drive and then RAM, and then the graphics card if it's integrated or if it's a separate one that's built in.
So like most of your eyes just glazed over, and that's exactly why people ask us this question.
Because you go and you're
they see all those specs and they're like, I don't even know what an SSD is, and what does that mean for how I can browse the internet?
Right. So that's why I think narrowing down, first step, what do you want, will help you then be able to pick. Help you pick those extra steps of what you actually want.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely, step one, evaluate what you're going to use the computer for.
Right.
What are those key features?
What do you wish your current one did? Like, I really wish that I could write on the bottom half of my keyboard so that I could buy a computer. I really want a yoga book. Like, ever since last episode, I really want a yoga book.
Please. Can I have a yoga book?
Anyways.
Yes. Definitely cool features like that. Do you want it to flip around like a yoga? Do you want to like use it as a really large tablet at some point?
Like what?
Is it going to be a family machine?
Or is it just going to be you? Is everybody going to kind of have their own? Yeah, like that's a pretty big step. There's a lot of small details in it, but if you just have a basic understanding of this is what I want to do, these are the basics of what I'm going to do, that gives you a really good starting point.
Yeah. So let's talk about hardware then next. So like all those specs that made
all
our
those
listeners glaze over. Like what are they looking for? What's important for different aspects?
Yeah. So the main one I think that most people think of and focus on is the hard drive.
Yeah.
And so I was taught when I first started repairing computers, that like a library was kind of like what I'm very confused about what I'm saying right now for some reason. That was used as the metaphor for what some of the parts were.
Sure. Yeah.
And the hard drive was the actual like shelves of the books. It's where
how many books you can put in there.
How many books I can put in there. That's yes. Pretty much that's what it is. And then so there's hard drive disks, which are actually physical moving disks.
Yeah, like think of like a record player. It's spinning just like a record.
Writes to it and everything. Yeah. And now we have solid state.
Yes.
And solid state is flash drives, flash cards. They've been solid state for a while.
Yes.
That's exactly what they are. But now we have...
Like a USB drive is a solid state drive.
Yeah. And now we have the solid state drives, which are hard drives.
Yes.
So you may see on your computer as you're looking at like the specs, it may say HDD, that's a hard drive disk.
Right.
Versus SSD, which is solid state. And solid state essentially just writes faster.
Yeah.
Because there's no
moving.
Because
it's not spinning. Yeah.
There's no actual moving parts, and so it writes to the drive faster.
Yes.
And you can even, back up just a second. I'm very excited to talk about solid state drives, and so, they're not necessarily as big for the same price point you can get hard drive disks.
True.
So that's another thing to think of.
Yeah.
And look at hybrids. So you can get some like physical, I talk with my hands a lot, so I'm like, size like hard drive disks, but they've got a part of solid state in them so that you can put like your operating system there so that it can write to it faster. And then you have the space to put your books, your pictures, your movies, that type of stuff on the actual hard drive part.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my soapbox about hard drives.
I love it. Yeah, so definitely solid states are going to be more expensive, but they are faster.
Yep.
HDDs are going to be slower, but
you can get
cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper.
Cheaper for more space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. A summary of it.
Yeah. If you're storing a lot, you want to get, obviously, a larger drive.
Right.
So if you're going to be storing your photos and
movies
and videos, all that stuff, you'll want to get probably as much as you can.
Yeah.
If you're going to be storing all of that
and
stuff.
you could look at cloud storage as well. So there's pros and cons to that. So if you do cloud, you could get a solid state with a little bit less on it. But if you want to actually keep those, be able to access them off the internet and stuff like that, you'll want the larger hard drive.
For sure. Good. So what about RAM? That's another thing people like see and they're like, oh, okay.
What's a RAM?
Bigger is better, I'm sure.
One of my favorite things ever from working at Geek Squad was people would be like, well, I got 4 gigs. That's a lot of storage. And I'm like, I'm super confused about what you just said. So RAM is random access memory.
Yes.
And what it is it's the speed of how fast you can access programs. And there's 2 ways that I actually was taught for RAM. So going along with the library theme is it's essentially a table.
Yeah.
So like a desk or a desk in the library. So your hard drive holds the books. You can pull the books off and put them on the table so they're easier to access.
That's a really great analogy.
I know. I was like, once I was taught, I was like, oh, everything makes so much sense to me. The other one was
the more books you have on the table,
the like easier or the harder it can be to find it.
Right, because it's getting cluttered up and it has a lot of
But if you have a
books
bigger
on the
table, then you can have more books and
right, they're spread out more and
isn't that
great.
so? The other one was a closet. That was where I learned first, where your hangers and how big your closet is how much like RAM you can have. So same idea, right? Bigger closet, more clothes.
Right.
I'm a girl. That really spoke to me a little bit about, I can have more clothes is what you're telling me? Perfect.
I usually use the closet metaphor for explaining defragmentation.
Oh, yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like take the clothes out and then there's these holes, and then you like put it all.
That's actually really good. I never thought about
right? Yeah. But most computers will defrag themselves, so don't even worry about what we just said. It's fine.
We just really needed to talk super techie for a moment.
We're better now.
We're okay.
We're fine.
Got it. But yeah, so when I started working on computers, I remember 2 gigs of RAM was like, what?
Yeah.
What? We can have 2 gigs?
So much.
So now you can get basic computers with 4. I would probably say 4 is going to be your minimum of what you want, and then you can just go up from there, depending on, again, what you're doing.
I think my laptop has 16.
16. That's what mine does at work, too.
Yeah.
I get the
16's good for, like, really heavy users, for sure.
You're doing it and, using it. I think you can get some with 32, and I'm like... Desktops?
Pretty sure that's a thing.
Yeah. Desktops, I get that, but laptops, I'm like, you don't need that. You probably don't need that in a laptop.
Unless you're running, like, CAD files or something.
That's true.
You might want that much, but
actually.
you probably should already know how much RAM you need if you're running CAD.
If you're trying to run programs that are, like, super crazy.
Yeah, super intense. So that's RAM. So 4 gigabytes would be probably a good minimum.
Yeah.
Like I said, for a really robust machine, you'd maybe want 8 to 16.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have to talk about?
So processors, we can touch on those.
Let's touch on those.
sort of touched. I sort of forgot what the processor was in my library analogy. I think it's the librarian.
Because it's the brain of the whole operation.
And so they're the ones that help like organize the books, tell you where to find things. Yeah. I think that's what it was, but that one,
Because a librarian has a brain.
Right. And none of the other pieces in the library does.
It's true.
So
there you go.
There are two main.
Intel and AMD.
Yeah, Intel and AMD are the two main processors that you'll see in computers.
Yeah.
My data may be a little old, but from what I've heard and from what I've seen is AMD do tend to run hotter.
Oh, interesting.
And so if you're using a laptop, I usually push people towards Intel and their Core i processors, just because of that reason. If you have a desktop, you can keep it cool, no problem. Like you've got the airflow, it doesn't matter. But laptops go towards the Intel a little bit. And
I do prefer Intel on my...
I really do too. That's why I always try to like tell
Justify
people a reason.
it,
Yeah, it's like I don't need a reason to not like Apple, but I'm just kidding. I'm really, one of these days, someone's going to be like, stop hating on Apple. They're amazing.
Yeah. So let's touch on that really quick because a lot of people...
It's our side tangent.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people will like immediately, when people ask on Facebook or whatever, I'm looking for a new computer, what should I get? There's always going to be the get a Mac, get a Mac. And that's just not helpful. Because a lot of people really, if they're going to be just using the computer for internet browsing, maybe writing the occasional paper or whatever,
you don't
need a $2,000 computer.
Yes.
And people, like, there's the myth that Apple is better or whatever.
Getting ready to defend it a little bit. My favorite is this is a separate side tangent we're talking about. Apples never get viruses.
Oh, yeah, that drives me crazy.
And they're less likely to get viruses because they weren't as popular.
Right.
But now, I can't tell you how many viruses I removed from Apple products in my previous life. And so that one, that one kind of...
It's a total fallacy, for sure.
Yeah, you will get viruses on a Mac.
Yeah. And, another thing people compare it to is, they're not comparing apples to apples. So they're comparing a $2,000 Apple machine to a $500 budget laptop.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be better.
It's going to be better for sure because the specs are completely different. It has better hardware. But if you're going to compare apples and apples, you want to compare it to a
$1,000 maybe.
Yeah.
Which is still half the cost.
Right. But a more premium brand.
Yes.
So a ThinkPad on Lenovo.
Right.
Or Dell
Alienware,
has, Alienware is more gamers.
But it's fine.
And Legion for that. But they're business class. You're so right there. I used to know it.
We're so bad at defending our stance. But yes.
I know. XPS.
That's what it is, yes.
Yeah. So there's higher levels in these, and so you don't want to compare a $2,000 Apple machine to a $500
both of us are
laptop.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So again, and we touched on it a little bit last week, if you have an Apple products already, you're already familiar with them, you're comfortable spending that much money, then sure, that would probably be a good, or creative people.
Yeah. Like I said, if you're just using it for internet browsing and Netflix, probably waste of money.
Yeah, you don't need that much money. Even an Air is just go with something else. You'll be fine. Go with a Chromebook.
Right, see, a Chromebook or something, yeah. So definitely keep that in mind when you're looking at all the hardware.
Yes.
What else do you have for...
Let me check my notes. I had stuff. Oh, graphics card.
Yes.
So I wanted to touch on this just really quickly. For those, if you're using just a basic computer and you're not super into CAD gaming, video editing, stuff like that, your main thing you'll want to look at is if it's integrated or if it's separate.
Yes.
So some graphics cards will be essentially built onto the motherboard, which is the thing, the hard device that everything plugs into.
So technical.
We're very technical on this podcast. Now I'm totally lost. So it's pre-built in, and then you can also get some that plug in themselves that are separate.
It's basically the floor in the library.
It is the floor in the library. It's the library itself. Yes, the floor.
Because it wouldn't be the building.
Because it doesn't
that
like
would be the
hug.
case.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The floor of the library.
Floor of the library.
Where everything stands on.
Yeah.
So if you are doing just a basic computer, like integrated's totally fine.
Yeah.
No big deal. You can watch Netflix on an integrated one. Totally. There's no big deal with that. If you are doing a little bit more intensive stuff, you'll actually want to look at like a graphics card that's put in.
Yeah.
Just because that gives you more capabilities with it.
Yeah, and like if you are running something like that has a tendency to maybe fail a little bit, so you could like replace it if it's not integrated.
Yeah, easy. And I'm very big on like pieces.
Yeah.
Like with networking and stuff, that's kind of a thing for me too. I don't like combined routers and modems.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just because if one thing fails, then you just... So that's a really good point too.
Yeah.
On it.
What else we got?
Checking my notes. I think that's it. I was like, there are other extras you can get, like Wi-Fi cards, but I think the only reason you may need to worry about Wi-Fi cards is like desktops. Like if you want to use wireless, make sure it comes with a Wi-Fi card. Most of them are already on Bluetooth. And this kind of falls into that extra category that we talked about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's touch on that for a minute. Like touch screens and stuff like that.
Like kind of that, back to that, like, what do you want your computer to do? That, like, do you want it to have a touch screen? Do you want it to be dockable so that it's like a 2-in-1? Do you need Bluetooth? Do you need, we're having minor technical.
Like, where did I put my notes? Okay, yeah.
Do you Bluetooth? Do you want to be able to write on it with a pen or like a stylus? I really
not going to let that go anytime.
I really want the yoga book. I had I think those are the main extras that I was like, oh, is it foldable? What ports are there?
Like, and so for family computers, I actually really like all-in-one machines.
Yeah.
So like, a nice big touch screen. Like with the Lenovo's, they've got the Lenovo Home, and you can like lay it flat. And it's got games you can play on it, like board games and whatever. So I really like that as a family machine
because you don't need it. You don't need a family one to be super intensive,
right? And
it's a big screen, and you can kind of That's
so I like the 27-inch Lenovo Yoga Home. That's like my favorite machine for like the whole family to get use out of.
All-in-ones are really good because an all-in-one it's literally the computer's in the screen.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to worry about having a tower. You don't have to worry about cables plugged in.
You just plug it into the wall and you're
good to go. My mom just got a new puppy, and her puppy always unplugs the computer. Or she like either sits on the power strip so it turns off, or she like hits the cord perfect so it unplugs the computer.
Smart dog.
She wouldn't have to worry about that with an all-in-one.
Yeah. So those are like my favorite for and they have the touch screen. I love having a touch screen on my laptops. Like I am constantly.
It's just easier to go like this because like touchpads on laptops get a little iffy depending on what you're using. So if you can just touch the screen, it's super nice that way.
Yeah,
I like those.
Any other features you can think of?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
Out of all of the grand scheme of computers.
Hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit.
A lot of information.
I know, we threw a lot at you. So, I mean, and one thing I always say is if your computer is like 5-10 years old right now, the cheapest, crappiest thing you can buy right now is still way better than what you have.
Yeah, no matter what you pick, it's gonna you're gonna notice a difference for sure.
So, I mean, really, all you're looking at is longevity.
Yeah.
So, if I'm going to buy the cheapest, crappiest thing right now, it's going to be better than what I have.
But it's not
going to last me as long.
That's another, and we kind of touched on it, and you literally just touched on it, but I would have so many people, I like to touch. I would have so many people come in and be like, I spent $300 and a year ago, and this computer's crappy again, and now you're awful. And I'm like, you spent $300 on an electronic device. Like, keep that in mind. Like, you can get use out of it, and they should last you a year to two, but that's going to be a pretty if you pay more, you're going to get a little bit more. Electronics, unfortunately, that does stand true.
It is true. And I thought of something, and now it's gone.
Oh, no.
But it was about that. If you buy...
The yoga book?
Oh, no, the life.
Yeah.
Like standard life for like a laptop, I would say 3 to 5 years would be like really cutting it close.
Yeah.
For a desktop, probably like
I would
5 to
say,
7.
yeah, and especially if you're okay with replacing parts.
Yes.
Because a desktop is more, because it's so good at talking today.
So good.
And you're all welcome for that sound. Because the desktop has so many parts, it's going to be easier if one breaks. Again, that separation of, hey, my power went out, well, I just need a new power supply.
Yeah.
And then you can just replace it super easy. And so you can get like years out of a desktop.
Yeah, so if you're reaching that like 3 to 5 years on your laptop, 5 to 7, maybe even 8 or 9 years on a desktop, and you're like, oh, this is kind of getting really crappy, it's time to replace it.
It's time. Just accept it.
Embrace it.
Technology is amazing.
It is.
There's always new stuff.
Yes. I love new technology.
That's my favorite.
All right, let's run through our top 5 computer movies.
Computer movies. This one was hard for me, I'm not gonna lie.
It was, well, and like it's hard to know, like,
is it computer? Is it technology?
hacking? Is it, so it's kind of broad-ish, but like with a strong computer server-y theme, I would say.
Mine fit.
There's
a lot of crossed outs of me like writing something and then being like, nah, I don't know if that works, and then I don't know if that one works, but we'll count it.
We'll go for it. Okay, so my number 5 is The Net.
I don't know this one.
I
feel like half of our
What? I'm not that much older than you. How do you not know?
Wait, explain it to me and I'll tell you if I know about it or
Sandra
not.
Bullock, and she is like a computer programmer, and she comes across this like program that it's like a backdoor into like all of the government secrets, and she like goes on vacation to Mexico and they erase her whole life.
No, I don't know this movie, but I already love it.
Oh my gosh!
Side note, as we're talking about this, because I feel like I need to explain it now, have you ever seen that like hackertyper.net? It's a website you can go to, everyone, you'll love this, where it's a black screen and you can literally just like mash on your keyboard and it looks like you're hacking and it's fine. Anyway,
I love it.
This movie sounds fun and I feel like
it's so fun. I mean, it's super old.
That's
so
fine.
It's dated, like, big time.
Yeah, it's
they
fine.
need to, like, plug into a modem and, like, all that stuff. And you get the, like,
oh, I miss that noise.
You know, Mozart's Ghost, the hottest band on the internet. Yeah, you got it.
All right.
I'll bring it next time.
It's on my notepad. I don't want you to see. For those who can see, I wrote it down.
Okay.
But I don't want you to see.
Number 5.
Eagle Eye.
I don't think the one I don't know.
Yes, I win. So this one's a little bit, it's one of those that I was like not sure if it counts. But it's Shia LaBeouf and Michelle Monaghan, I think. Yeah, and basically they separately get a call from this woman who's like, Michelle's son is threatened, her character's son is threatened, and so she needs to do certain things. And Shia LaBeouf's character, she's like trying to rescue him because the FBI, like someone planted a bunch of stuff on him, and so the FBI is going to arrest him. And basically, spoiler alert, it's been out for a while, you'll all be fine. It's a computer that's doing this.
Oh,
like it's kind of an AI like that went crazy.
That totally works.
And that's, so she's leading them together. Eagle Eye. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That sounds good. Okay. Number 4.
Number 4, backwards.
Hackers. I know I'm old.
We technically talked about this last week as we were talking about computer movies. So you were prepped that I did not know this one. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen
Angelina
it.
Jolie's like first movie.
Oh, I've seen part of it.
And
that's the other.
Have you ever seen the show Elementary?
Yeah.
The Sherlock in that is like
really
in hackers.
Interesting.
And it's just a bunch of kids and they're hacking and they like come across this like virus and they like get in trouble and
they
have to hack the planet. Hack the planet. It's so great.
I love
it's like Teen Witch, where it's like so bad, it's great.
This was one I was going to try to watch.
Yes. I'll bring it for you.
No, I already have too many movies. I need like a break. A little bit of a span of movies that I need to watch. So disappointed. My number 4, slightly embarrassed, but only slightly. Live Free or Die Hard.
Oh, no, I considered it. Justin Long is...
Yes, Justin Long.
No, not Justin Long.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was the guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
No, it is Justin Long.
Okay.
That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, by the way. I just remembered.
Thank you.
So Justin Long is this computer hacker, and Bruce Willis is McClane.
It's in the Die Hard.
Yeah. So it fits in there. It's like 4, maybe?
Yeah, sounds right. I think it's 4.
He has to bring him in because he's a hacker, and obviously all hackers are bad.
Right.
And in the middle of this, there's this villain who hacks into the U.S. computer infrastructure. Thank you. Guys, I swear I know what I'm talking about. And so they kind of have to save the day that way.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have seen that one. It is good. My number 3 is Antitrust. Again, you haven't seen it.
I know I haven't seen this. This is going real good. I couldn't talk. I haven't seen any of these movies. This is probably my number 1 podcast for me because it's all doing so good.
It's awesome. Antitrust is basically Tim Robbins is like Bill Gates, basically.
Oh, okay.
And he's creating this operating system, and they want to hire, and I think it's it's Ryan Philippe.
Oh, okay.
And he built something. They want to take his program, but anyway,
but all that
it's all very antitrust.
That's what I was like. This sounds like okay.
Yeah, but it's a kind of dig on Microsoft for sure. But
it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's great.
Okay, my number 3 is iRobot. Do you have
that? We'll discuss it because that's my number 2.
We planned this.
Yay! Yeah, totally love iRobot.
That is it's so good. It's such a now I'm terrified of robots though. We've thought about getting a Roomba for our downstairs.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me that's like, ooh, I've seen iRobot. I know how this goes.
There's the 2 laws.
That's true.
I mean, come on. How can't go wrong?
But
is it 3 laws or is it 2
there's
laws?
3 total.
3 laws.
But I think they
conflict.
Oh, they conflict. Somehow they conflict.
Because in order to keep humans safe,
you have to destroy the humans.
They need to destroy the humans.
It makes sense.
Basically. Yeah.
But it's based off of Asimov's 3 laws of robotics.
Yeah.
I think or something like that. And they're supposed to be
infallible.
Other movies and stuff that talk about it. But I just know about this one.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. It's super. Will Smith is in it.
Yeah. Will Smith. He help save the planet from that stuff.
What would we do without Will Smith?
I know, right?
That's crazy.
My number 1 is...
Wait, I have to do... my number 2.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Okay.
Number 2. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Tron Legacy. It's fine. We probably could have skipped it.
The new Tron. That's the new Tron.
I will also include the old Tron in it.
Yeah.
As a cheater. Because I watched the old one after the new one.
Okay.
Just because I needed to know what was going on.
Yeah.
But it's... Garrett Hedlund is plays now I can't think of his name, but the son of the guy who created Tron.
Okay.
Who I also forgot the actor's name, but he's very popular and really famous, and now I feel bad.
Cool.
But he goes back in to rescue his dad, who got trapped into the game.
Cool.
And so it's him just going through and do that.
I actually haven't seen it.
Have you not?
I know. I've meant to.
What? It's good.
My number one. My number 1 is, you probably have never heard of this one either.
I've never heard of it. I'm already ready.
Sneakers.
I have heard of Sneakers.
Yes.
And I was going to put it on there.
It's so good.
It's so
Too many
good.
secrets. They're this this agency, not really an agency, but a group of people that it's kind of Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
They
break in.
It's a device that unravels people's secrets.
Oh, that's right.
And too many secrets.
I have.
It's a really good
movie.
movie.
I feel very...
Robert Redford.
Yes. I feel very validated.
Good.
Right now that I've seen that.
Fantastic.
So my number 1 is Imitation Game. Because, and it counts even though it's ye olden time.
Ye olden time.
World War II, is that ye olden time? Because it was the first computer. And so he builds the group of MI6 people, right? They need to break code, and there's Enigma, which was the German code that was infallible, but they build this computer in order to help break the code. And
cool.
Yeah, so it was really good.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was number 1. Yep, that's it.
Okay, that is our top 5 computer movies. We both need an education. Ours were pretty different. iRobot was the only one that we had.
And we
together.
usually, I mean,
we're pretty on.
Yeah. This one and reality TV, I think, was the other one that we both were a little off on. But
well, I mean, in college movies, because you hadn't seen like any of mine.
I forgot about that. I blocked that one from my memory because I'm.
I love that sound you make.
That's my. This is a weird noise podcast day. Tuesday, Monday.
Totes.
Yes.
Tuesday. Well, yeah, it goes live Monday.
It goes live Monday, but.
Okay. Let's pick our next topic. Ooh, what is it?
It's half a sentence.
Uh-oh.
Tech through the ages.
Oh!
When to get your...
Because I knew what it meant. Like, basically, how old to, like, get your kids a first cell phone.
This is
like,
big.
Yeah. Kind of what, like,
what should they
guidelines.
be? I like this.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this.
Cool. So, it's with the whole thing, maybe we'll do, we could either do, we'll discuss it later. Kids movies.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, Disney. Or...
Ooh. We could do Disney movies.
I think we should do Disney. Yeah,
Disney.
Let's do Disney.
You're all welcome. You're going to hear us talk about Disney movies.
It'll be great. All right. Well, don't forget to subscribe. We love any feedback that you have. Definitely let us know. And thanks again for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.